wonderful morning, Saturday morning to you out there on Afia Sports Show. This is the Afia Home of Sports on Afia TV. The channels remain, of course, the frequencies, channel 254 DSTV, channel 17 Go TV, and channel 748 Free TV. Welcome to the final day in the month of May, the year 2025, and it's great to be here to end the month in grand style with an Afia Sports Show. Welcome, I remain CC Emechebe, also known as CC the Rabbi, and we're not doing this alone. I'm here with the crew, the gang in the house. First of all, my co-host for today, we have Zik, Blessed Zik himself.
Hey.
Good to have you.
Good morning, everyone. Pleasure always. And the final Saturday of the...
It's actually the final Saturday of the month and also the final day of the month.
Yeah, and beautiful sports shows over the week and over the month, but I'm glad to be here.
It's great to be here. And then, of course, we have at the touch screen our other co-host, the man who's also known as the priest of football. And this time around, I don't know whether his priesthood will come through because of some discussions we had prior, but hey, we'll know about that. Welcome to the show, Emeka Madueke, the priest of football.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, it's great to be here. And welcome to the show, everybody here. We are doing this as usual because here we are pleased to witness the end of the National Sports Festival, the 22nd edition of the National Sports Festival, the Gateway Games in Ogun State. And the next games will take place next year in Enugu State. Coal City will be hosting. Yeah, Team Enugu didn't particularly uproot trees or make anybody proud because of the stiff competition. And I won't really say the preparation was poor. I won't say that we have to get an inquest after much investigation has been carried out. But one thing is certain, there's a lot to learn, thanks to the words of the Commissioner for Sport, for Youth and Sports Development, Barrister Dike Ikwaramadu. He was there present during the tournament itself, that's the Gateway Games. And then he observed things that were done, what should be done better, and what should be improved upon ahead of the next games. And one thing is certain, because of the leadership that we have here in Enugu State, we are going to have a wonderful 23rd Coal City Games. You can rest assured. Take that to the bank. But having said that, the games have ended, and it's been really wonderful. Team Delta are the team that everybody's celebrating now because they are celebrating a 5th consecutive victory in the National Sports Festival, and they are 9th in total. Emeka, please take it away. Team Delta are there, sitting pretty on top, and we're seeing the number of medals. I think that should be reviewed because the total medals is 323. One more medal should be added there. But no, just give us the breakdown for the top 10.
The top 10, as you clearly mentioned, the Delta are sweeping the gates with 323. That should be added there. But also coming in second with 221 in total for medals. Ogun State in third with 230. Rivers State come in fourth place with 191. Edo come in fifth place with 271. Oyo State came in sixth place with 121. Lagos finished seventh with a total of 161. The FCT finished with 39 medals in total. Osun State finished in ninth place with 27 medals, and Akwa Ibom with 40 medals total.
And then we have the next slide, that's from 11 down. Well, because I'm particularly interested in seeing where the Southeast states
Speaking of the Southeast states, they began the half of the table. Afia finishing in 11th place with 63 total medals. Plateau in 12th place with 45 medals in total. Kano in 13th place with 27, tied with Kwara State with 27 as well. Cross Rivers in 15th with 16 medals in total. Imo with 33 medals. Kaduna in 17th place with 15 medals in total. The invited junior athletes finished with 21 medals. Ondo State finished 19th with 24 medals, and Anambra finished 20th with 18 medals.
Then we have to go beyond there and make sure we avoid the cookies and find what we're looking for. And I think we've seen what we're looking for. So go ahead, please.
In 21st position, we have Ekiti with 18 medals in total. 22nd place is Casino with 5 medals in total, and our dear old Enugu in 23rd place with a total of 16 medals.
So that's proof of life.
Proof of life. We refreshed the cookies, we found them eventually.
Thank goodness.
Nigeria finished with 10 medals in total in 24th place. 25th place, Nasarawa State. I almost said Nasarawa. With a total of 17 points and 2 medals. Borno State finished 26th place with 8 medals. Bauchi finished with 8 medals as well in 27th. Ebonyi State finished with 2 medals. I think that has to be the points of the Southeast right there. Then Benue State finished with 15 medals in total, and Yobe in 30th with 4 medals.
Now, that's very interesting for all the right reasons and even the wrong reasons. This table shows us exactly how the teams performed. I don't want to get into the issue of dodgy officiating and maybe one or two other things, because there was even an allegation. There is an allegation that's been brewing that the host states, Ogun State, may have had 1 or 2 bits of helping hands just before the final day. That's an allegation. I don't know how that can be substantiated, because if you go back to the first, on top is Delta State. If you just go back, you look at the first, that's Delta, then Bayelsa, but there was a switch. Now, this is not reflecting what the latest reports that I got, which is the subject of speculation. But Ogun State ended up second, according to some reports. And we need to verify that, because if indeed that's the case, Bayelsa are not finding it funny, because some events were said to have taken place around 1 a.m., 11 p.m., which is quite odd, which is quite absurd. So really, I'm hoping that these are just mere allegations. I can't say anything that can't be substantiated because of journalistic integrity. It's very, very important. But if that's the case, something needs to be looked into it. But at the end of the day, be that as it may, this is a reflection of the performance of the teams. If you're not prepared, you will not deliver. It's as simple as that. Sure. And you can rest assured that most of the Niger Delta teams have been prepared. Delta have been perennial champions, and it's because of their level of preparation and the way they take the National Sports Festival serious. Bayelsa, the same thing. You're looking at Rivers, the same thing. It's pretty much the usual suspects. In those states and all.
So if you invest inside sports, inside the grassroots, you can get as much talent as possible. That can compete at a national level, state level, the national level, and possibly world level. I hope what you say, the allegations are just allegations, but we hope that they bring informations and evidence if they have been. Problems like you just mentioned. We hope that it's not like that, and we also have to commend Ogun State. There weren't as much negative vibes based on health, safety, but we hope that those are just allegations.
Okay, so just allegations, but no, just to hold on to that, we want you to know that this is a simulcast. We're here on DSTV, like I said, channel 254. And then GoTV channel 17, and then Free TV channel 748. But we're also being heard live on radio, Afia 99.3, which means you can call us in. It's a simulcast, simultaneous broadcast. You can call us in and be part of the show. We open our hearts and our homes to everybody there that's a fan of Afia TV. And of course, the number, I'll call the numbers periodically so you can call in, make your contributions known. The number is 0911-699-3993. I'll take that one more time. 0911-699-3993. That's the number that you can use to reach us. And we are really looking forward to hearing from you so that you can be part of the show. If there are any updates that you have, like for instance, we're talking about this issue of the allegations. If you have substantive evidence, because we'll talk about evidence, not necessarily proof. Evidence is tentative, proof is certain.
Yes.
It's not speculative at all.
True.
So there may be evidence here. We need to know whether it's weak or strong.
Yes.
But we have to get the right information to give our viewers out there. So looking at that, you see, Emeka, this is going to you now before we go to the other. We talk about Southeastern states and their performance. Funnily enough, Abia State are the highest ranking states in the medal, the Southeast, on the medals table, which is also a reflection of what Abia State produced in the Npfl, the Nigerian Premier Football League that just ended. The highest ranking Southeastern state in the Npfl was also an Abia State, from Abia State, that's Abia Warriors. Yes. They finished third. So I don't know whether it's too soon to say that Abia is on the rise at the moment. I can't really say that yet, but it's good news. But there are two things, first of all. Yeah. Enugu finished 23rd. on the table, and they're the next host. Yes, they managed to get a gold medal, which is good news. Not good enough, but at least better than nothing. I'm talking in terms of preparation. That's the first thing I want to talk about, preparation. How will this performance, in your own opinion, affect the preparation for the next games, which will be next year? It's not too far. It's just next year. So that's the first question I'm throwing to you before we throw open the issue of another award, a special award that was given, which is called the Gender Balance Award. We'll talk about that in a jiffy. So over to you.
I mean, my thoughts on this is very simple. You're hosting the next games. You have to be red hot with your preparations. You have to do the necessary. You have to get the equipment you need. You have to get through the facilities you need. Get proper use of all this. Use them to your advantage. As you're the host, you prepare adequately well for it.
Okay, yeah, we have a caller. First of all, we have a caller from Abuja. I think did I get that, Kelvin, right? Okay, Tony from Abuja is calling in. Tony. I'm expecting a call right now. Tony from Abuja, are you on the line?
Yeah, good morning.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
Is that Tony?
Hello? Yeah, it's Tony.
Yes, good morning, Tony. Welcome to Afia Sports Show, the home of sports.
Yeah. My comment is on the match between Nigeria and Ghana 2 days ago.
Yes.
You see, whenever we play in Ghana, they take it so seriously. And whenever lesser teams in Africa wants to play them, they will humiliate Ghana. Can you imagine most African countries, maybe Niger, Somalia, they've been disgracing and humiliating Ghana. But whenever it comes to Nigeria, you see them, they want to die. Despite the fact that we defeated them yesterday, they were still, high-handed. They were still proud. They were still, in fact, making mockery of themselves, saying that they have played Nigeria, they did that. But at the end of the day, what happened? We won the game 2-1. So the point I want to make is that Ghana should go back to drawing board and go and rejig their football system so that this little non-African country will stop disgracing and humiliating them. Because it's whenever it comes to Nigeria, they want to die on the pitch. But at the end of the day, we will still win them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tony. That's a very. I'm sure you heard what he said. He's talking about the issue of the rivalry between Nigeria and Ghana in the Unity Cup, which we'll talk about in a bit. The Unity Cup, Nigeria won Ghana in the Jollof Derby. Now, Ghana, he's pretty much what Tony is actually saying is that Ghana just find a way of flexing their muscles when they meet Nigeria. They want to make sure that they win at all costs and ruffle Nigeria's feathers, and they end up losing to smaller countries. He didn't mention the name, but I'll say something like Comoros, for instance. I'm sure he has that in mind. But let's tell ourselves the truth. There is something called a derby feel. There's a rivalry that always goes, that needs to be put into consideration whenever two derby teams are having a derby. So they are playing not just because there are points to be accrued. They are playing not just because they have a point to prove, but because of bragging rights. So we have another call. Kingsley from Enugu. We have a call from Kingsley from Enugu.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, Kingsley. Good to have you on the show.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. We want to, as I said, I'm from Enugu, and I want to discuss about my faith on this particular festival.
Yes.
So, what I want to say is that we at Enugu here know that we have a lot of boys, a lot of girls that can do sports with their heart, We have, like, I own an academy.
Okay.
My academy is called Rainbow Football Academy. I did in Enugu. I taught for children when they can relate with me to know the passion behind sports. If you treat a child with a passion behind sports, he or she has this passion to make him or herself proud then before you. They will have odds to work hard to make you believe more in them. So I have gone through an academic system where I know what it is to train a child to give you whatever you want when it comes to sport, because I play a lot of football. You understand?
Yes.
So all through my life, I have other mentors that talk to me and force me. People like former coach of Samba Boys, where I grew up at the one, it's called Edendigo. That man was a man with passion behind sport. So what I am telling you all this is that I did not want to be part of people who intentionally want to maybe want to like fail. I'm not saying they intentionally want to fail, but when you're feeling somebody in the field and you're feeling the positiveness in the other person more than this person, but you think this person is more related to you, you want that person to showcase when you have somebody who ordinarily without payment can give you what you want. So now tell me, ordinarily, how you going to get results? Like the question is that how do you get results when you see that you are doing the wrong thing? You, your person that is doing it, you can see physically well that you are doing the wrong thing. Happy, finish. Ada kalam di enrat kalam. Ada ratun, ada mushkil man. This man speak me in by this man English, Arabic man speak me. That if I continue to do the same thing that I know that I continue to see problem. You understand?
Yes.
So please, would you present the elections in a way that you understand that you are the people planning to fail, and anybody that is planning to fail is going to fail. It's just common. So when we try to win, winning is just your heart. If you just pick, you win it. Nobody stops you. But when your heart is just beating, you don't know exactly what that means because you are complicating issues for yourself. You are boycotting things that are not supposed to be boycotted. Habibi, other gender, mushkil, around.
Okay.
I speak in English. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kingsley. Thank you very much. He, of course, he's venting his frustration. This is somebody who is a sports person who also believes in sports development. But I also have to add, please, we do not advertise academies and products here until we have a deal on the show. So it's very important that we take note of that. So please, the callers, let's be a bit more circumspect regarding advertising our products directly. There has to be a deal with the station. Thank you very much for your understanding. But he raised some very, very valid points. I think part of the issue with our sports setup, the sports sector, is that we have a massive pool of talent in terms of sports generally, massive pool of talent. And Michael, you were here when we hosted the Enugu, we were talking about the Enugu City International Marathon. Yeah. We were here on set, taking everybody through the marathon. And then there's something that I was discussing with the GM who was our guest on the show then. And found out that Enugu State particularly has a lot of terrains and a lot of mountainous, the topography is unique in that it brings out the best in long distance runners and marathoners. So you find out that the topography might be unique and all, but when you talk about the other things that are needed to boost the performance levels of these athletes generally, like for instance, you're talking about facilities. How many Olympic standard swimming facilities do we have in the country at the moment? That's something that needs to be looked at. How many standardized sports villages do we have? These are things that need to be looked into so that we can get the best, because at the end of the day, across board, proper preparation will always prevent poor performance.
Certainly.
So, I mean, that's pretty much what it's all about. But we know because of time, we need to move very quickly to the next point, and that's the special award there, the Gender Balance Award. Now, Team Anambra in the National Sports Festival received a very special award, which is called the Gender Balance Award. Now, that's because they were the only states that came to the National Sports Festival during the Gateway Games in Ogun State and brought a balanced contingent. 50% of them were male and 50% female. So they received a special award there because that award is simply a recognition of inclusion. So there's more inclusion, gender inclusion. So I want to applaud Team Anambra for doing that. National Sports Festival, the Gender Balance Award, Team Anambra did very well. And I mean, I'm an Anambarian, so I mean, it's a thing of pride too. So at the end of the day, it's a great one indeed. So congratulations to Team Anambra for winning that Gender Balance Award. And also we're looking forward to the other teams that will toe the same line and bring some more gender inclusion. Very important. So we move straight to the next point, which is the Unity Cup. Unity Cup. Now, what happened, I think this was just a couple of days ago, we were talking about that here. Nigeria versus Ghana in the Jollof Derby. This was the second semi-final after the previous one, the previous day where the Caribbean Derby happened there. Trinidad and Tobago lost 3-2 to Jamaica, the Reggae Boys of Jamaica. Dwight York was the one that managed TNT, the legendary Trinidadian player that played for Manchester United. But it was not enough, and he lost to Steve McLaren's Jamaica, the Reggae Boys of Jamaica. So after the reggae comes the blues. What will the blues show right now? What that means is that the TNT game, the third place match, is going to be today by 1:30 p.m. That means Ghana, our Jollof Derby neighbors, are going to be playing against TNT, the losers final. Let me repeat, the losers final. Yeah, it's all part of the rivalry. It's all banter, all love from here, but no banter. You can't reduce the banter a bit. But that's going to be the losers final by 1:30 p.m. Ghana, the Black Stars of Ghana, up against the Soca Boys of Trinidad and Tobago. And then the main game today, as far as the Unity Cup is concerned, in Brentford City Stadium, is going to, at the GTEC Community Stadium in Brentford, is going to be between the Super Eagles of Nigeria, being led by Eric Sekuchel, and the Reggae Boys of Jamaica, being led by Steve McLaren, former manager of Middlesbrough and England. What are we looking up to? What are we looking forward to in this Unity Cup game? The match is this evening. It's by 6 p.m. I think it's 6 p.m. So
yeah, it is.
What are we looking forward to?
Well, I mean, more of the same against what we did against Ghana, but with more intensity, because, I mean, this Jamaican side didn't come here to play. They showed it against Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, you might say they're a small country, but, I mean, you getting the result on the night is what matters. You have to do your very best and stay on top at all times in the game. Nigeria did that against Ghana. Jamaica did that against Trinidad and Tobago. It's going to be an interesting one to watch.
Okay.
For me, I think the game will just border on the transitions between both teams. I saw the game between Nigeria and Ghana. Nigeria was trying to hit Ghana very, very fast, and it paid off. But it also, created a little bit of division between the front side and the back side. But I think we have a lot of quality. They too have a lot of quality, and with Steve McLaren, we are talking about an old head. Someone that won, I think, the League Cup with Middlesbrough in 2004, Juninho player. So, Boy Richard has already shown that he has a little bit of tactical awareness about him, and it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I just hope that Eric Sekuchel will not have ice water poured on his head today. There won't be any need for that. I mean, come on.
Was it necessary?
I just have to do that. But the match is going to be, just a slight correction, the match is going to be by 5 p.m. There's sometimes you have that mix-up between GMT, that's the British time, the Greenwich medium time, and then all the other time zones. So it's 5 p.m., not 6 p.m. My apologies for that. So let's stay tuned. Let's support the Super Eagles of Nigeria. You might say it's a meaningless friendly, but come on, there's still rivalry there, and it's all about getting the players fit and ready for the task ahead. What is the task in question? World Cup qualifying, which is going to be in September and October, because Nigeria still have an objective, and that is to be on the plane to the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Well, we'll talk more about that when we return, and we'll move straight to Europe and other parts of the world when we return from this very brief break. Stay tuned. This is Afia Home of Sports. Don't touch that down. Welcome back to the Afia Sports Show, the Home of Sports on Afia TV. Of course, the channels remain the same. DSTV, channel 254, GoTV, channel 17, Free TV, channel 748. And also, because this is a simulcast, very special, merging radio and TV. You can also get us live on Afia 99.3 Radio, our radio station. And of course, we receive calls. You can call in and be a part of the show. For calls, you can actually get the numbers. You can get us on 0911 6993 993. I'll take that one more time. 0911 6993 993. That's how you can participate in this show. And we're moving straight to the next item on the agenda. And there was a game that was supposed to have been played yesterday, and that's it's another derby. I won't call it a West African derby because technically Cameroon is in Central Africa, but they are still our bitter rivals, neighbors. But this is the female circuit right now. The indomitable lionesses of Cameroon were supposed to lock horns with the Super Falcons of Nigeria yesterday, but the Cameroonian counterparts did not show up on time, so the game was cancelled, and it's going to take place on Monday, the 2nd of June. Monday, the 2nd of June, in 2 days' time. That's what's going to happen. So we're looking forward to another derby. This is not Jollof, this is Jollof derby or Momo derby, I don't know. Plantain derby, thank you. You took the words out of my mouth, plantain. So plantain derby, our Cameroonian brothers and sisters love plantain a lot. So we're going to see who enjoys plantain even more when that comes up. But now we're going straight to, before we talk about Champions League, were they scared? This one that they came late, were they scared?
It depends if you ask the sources that are concerned with the Super Falcon and with the indomitable lionesses. But I think they should be afraid because they are in our home.
Yeah, I like that. I like that confidence.
Strong words there, Zeke.
No, that was almost vicious. Almost, not exactly vicious, but I mean, it is what it is. So we're moving straight to All Big Ears. These are the champions. A date with destiny, May the 31st or 31st of May, depending on your persuasion, whether you're of the American persuasion or the British persuasion. Either way, fine, we'll take them. So tonight is the D-Day, or the D-Night in this case, where the Paris Saint-Germain players are going to be relishing a moment with history when they lock horns with the Nerazzurri of Internazionale. So the big question now remains, will the UEFA Champions League trophy find its home, at least for 1 year, in Parc des Princes in Paris, France, or at the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium San Siro in Italy, the northern part of Italy? That's going to be, we're going to find that out tonight. When Paris Saint-Germain lock horns, that's PSG lock horns with Inter Milan, Internazionale, you're having two managers locking horns with each other. Of course, Luis Enrique, who already has pedigree in terms of Champions League. He's won the Champions League before. In fact, he won a treble. The last treble that Barcelona won was in 2015. That was 10 years ago. And this man was responsible for that triumph of FC Barcelona. Now he's looking to become only the second manager in history to win continental trebles with two different clubs from two different countries, after Pep Guardiola did it with Barcelona in 2009 and 2015. 2023 with Man City. Yeah. So you're looking at a case of these two games. Let's get into it very, very quickly, because there's something I want to do at the end of this. I know America's persuasion, but there's something I want to do at the end of this. I'm going to list out. I always do this every year in the Champions League once I have the platform. I will list out, and everybody here can testify that there's no teleprompter. I will list out all the European Cup and Champions League winners since 1956. Who wants to try me? I'll list them out off heart.
Of course, you can.
I'll do that.
You have your own football knowledge.
No, I'm blushing. But but the point is this. This is a date with destiny. These guys are relishing this. PSG, now, look at the twist. There are a number of sides to it, and I want to get your thoughts very, very quickly on this. Internazionale have been waiting for 15 years. The last time they won this title, their third title, was when Jose Mourinho won a treble with them too. So technically, they were one of the last teams to win a treble, the last Italian team to win a treble. They did that in 2010. Diego Milito scoring a brace in that 2-0 win over Bayern Munich, led by Louis van Gaal. And they've waited for so long to get to this point. And they also have a lot to prove, because this is going to be their second final in 3 years. They were in the final, they were the losing finalists against Manchester City in 2023. So that's got to count for something. There's a push. And this is their last realistic chance of silverware this season. They lost out the Scudetto to Napoli. They lost the Coppa Italia also. And now this is their biggest opportunity to make sure they leave with something this season. On the other hand, PSG have a point to prove. They've always had a point to prove. They are lurking in the shadows of their bitter rivals, Le Classique rivals, talking about Olympique Marseille, the only French side to win the European Cup. And PSG want to assert their dominance, not just in France, but in Europe, by winning it, and then in the process, winning a treble. And the last time they had an opportunity to win it and win a treble, it was denied them by Hansi Flick in Bayern Munich in 2020. So they have a lot to do there, a lot to prove. I don't know, what are your thoughts? How will this swing? You're looking at Donnarumma, of course, in the background, we're seeing these two goalkeepers, Gianluigi Donnarumma and Jan Sommer. These guys are, I don't know, because a lot...
We're looking at the two reasons for both clubs being in the final.
That's two major reasons.
Yes, you can say because of the goals the striker scored,
Yes.
but these are the crucial factors for both teams against their respective semi-finalist opponents. We're talking about Inter Milan against Barcelona and PSG against Arsenal. Donnarumma making saves upon saves, both legs, not only the first leg, but the second leg, and helping his side to win. Jan Sommer, the amount of saves he pulled off, especially in that second leg against Barcelona, it was just ridiculous. These are the reasons for me why both teams are in the final. You talked about Inter Milan not winning this Champions League since 2010, Jose Mourinho. There was an interview he made, I think, recently in a Manager's Award, recently in the UK. He came around and he was like, he didn't want them to take a bit of his history. He's the only manager to have won the treble with Inter Milan. And he doesn't, earlier on in the season, I think by March, they were still in the contention for a treble. Yes. So it's kudos to Simeone Inzaghi, with players that are almost like going towards their 30s, late towards their career, not enough money to spend. The Italian Serie A is way down in terms of the financial outlay that they can draw for players, and yet they were challenging to that time. But he said he was happy that maybe now that they are out of the Coppa Italia from AC Milan, he's still intact. So now he's wishing for them. So me, I feel, and also it can go two ways for Inter, because it can go the same way of Atletico Madrid 2014 and 2016, 2 years in between two finals, and they lost, and they can still lose again today, or they can come and win from Inter Milan 10 years ago from Jose Mourinho, and for PSG, after being hurt by Hansi Flick in 2020, Neymar, that famous image that he was crying, it will stir up emotion with these young boys to be the ones to break that dog and become the second French team after Marseille. I think they need this Champions League a lot. It's, I think, the third year of Luis Enrique's
It should be the third year of his coaching.
So you have to respect what he has done. He might be the second manager to win a treble after Pep Guardiola. It's not easy. It's very respectful.
It's possible. Now, Emeka, your thoughts right now, but no, try and put away bias. Because I know where you're coming from now. But put away bias. Your thoughts, very good.
Being as objective as possible.
Oh yeah, please.
These are two teams in the past 5 years that have fumbled two finals. Yeah. I'm talking about PSG against Bayern. I'm talking about Inter against Man City. Now, the onus is on one team to look behind the shameful past and get their hands on that big ears, as they say. Now, world football is looking at PSG to do the unthinkable and win the treble with Enrique. While some will feel Inter should win it. My thoughts is, I always like to do the prediction game. As unbiased as possible, it will be a fair game. Regulation time will end the draw, going to penalties. Inter to win it in penalties.
We'll get to that, because I saw this come after all the rigmarole and all that. So what will happen is this: I'm going to list out the winners of the UEFA Champions League and European Cup, UEFA Champions League. I'll list out the winners, and then when we get to 2025,
from what year are you going?
Predictions. From 1956. I'm giving.
Okay. So
let me just call them. So you guys are my witnesses. I'll call them out right now. I'm not looking at anything. No teleprompter. No, cross my heart and hope to live some more. So, from 1956, 57, 58, 59, 60, Real Madrid were winners. 61 to 62, Benfica. 63, 64, Inter Milan. 65, 63 AC Milan, 64-65 Inter Milan, 66 Real Madrid, 67 Celtic, 68 Manchester United, 69 AC Milan, 70 Feyenoord, 71, 72, 73 Ajax, 74, 75, 76 Bayern Munich, 77, 78 that was Liverpool, 79, 80 Nottingham Forest, 81 Liverpool, 82 Aston Villa, 83 Hamburg, 84 Liverpool, 85 Juventus, 86 Toy Bucharest, 87 Porto, 88 PSV Eindhoven, 89, 90 that was AC Milan, 91 Red Star Belgrade, Crvena Zvezda, that's what they call them now, 92 Barcelona, 93 Marseille, 94 AC Milan, 95 Ajax with our Nigerian contingent, 96 Juventus, 97 Borussia Dortmund, 98 Real Madrid, 99 Manchester United, 2000 Real Madrid, 2001 Bayern Munich, 2002 Real Madrid, 2003 AC Milan, 2004 FC Porto, 2005 that's Liverpool,
Miracle.
2006 Barcelona, 2007 was AC Milan, 2008 Manchester United, 2009 Barcelona, 2010 Inter Milan, 2011 Barcelona, 2012 Chelsea, 2013 Bayern Munich, 2014 La Decima Real Madrid, 2015 Barcelona, 2016, 2017, 2018 a hat-trick under Zinedine Zidane for Real Madrid, 2019 Liverpool, 2020 Bayern Munich, 2021 that's Chelsea, 2022 Real Madrid, 2023 Manchester City, 2024 Real Madrid, and 2025 drum rolls prediction. Over to you.
Inter.
Just. And he's already given his prediction. And I dare to be different. The UEFA Champions League winners this year will be Paris Saint-Germain. Take that to the bank. We'll be back. I've said my own. No, I'm the one with the crystal ball. So we'll be right back after these short messages. Stick around. Don't touch that dial. The final leg of the Afia Sports Show on our special simultaneous broadcast on Afia TV and Afia Radio. Afia TV, you can get us on DSTV channel 254, GoTV channel 17, Free TV channel 748, and then you can get us on Afia Radio on 99.3. It's a simulcast. The phone numbers are there. You can actually call in to be part of the show as we bring this show to an end. And we move straight to the transfer gossip. Well, confirmed transfer news, and then maybe a bit of gossip, transfer gossip, and then who's going, who's not going. That's where we are right now. And then we'll go very quickly to the Roland Garros, the news updates in Roland Garros, the French Open, second Grand Slam of the year. But first of all, we're looking at the transfer gossip. Some confirmed news, at least from Europe. We know about the fact that Liam Delap, for instance, has been confirmed as a player. The deal is already being done, is being tidied up. Liam Delap, who was relegated with Ipswich Town, the son of Rory Delap, the rocket launcher with his throws. He's now going to be a player that will solve, hopefully from Enzo Maresca's perspective, the striker conundrum, because he's a traditional nine. That's what he is. Nico Jackson has done a good job. He's been doing a good job. But when you talk about the traditional nine, that's where Liam Delap comes in. So that's one of the news. We'll get your thoughts about that in a jiffy. But other bits of transfer gossip, we know that Trent Alexander-Arnold, after spending so long in Liverpool, being a Liverpool legend, is now a Real Madrid player. He's gone to Santiago Bernabeu, moved from the Merseyside down to Madrid, and he's looking for a new chapter. So we wish him the best of luck there in Real Madrid at right back. But he should learn to defend a bit more. That's my own opinion, because he's an offensive asset, but sometimes a defensive liability. But no, that's a very, very good move for him in his career. Then Zubimendi, we'll just touch that a little bit. This Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad, it seems Arsenal have pretty much gotten their man too in that place, either to complement or replace Thomas Partey, depending on how the transfer window moves out. But let's start with some of the news we have.
Before we get there, just a bit of information. Jeremy Frimpong has gone to Anfield. He's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold's replacement.
Yes, that's some news that was already in the works, but now it's been confirmed. Jeremy Frimpong, who is a Bundesliga winner with Bayer Leverkusen under the Real. Funnily enough, under the manager of the current manager of his replacement, or the man that he's replacing. That's Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's Xabi Alonso. So, the willing and dealing, the movements that's happening in the transfer window, we're going to see more. It's going to get a bit more active because today is the 31st of May. Tomorrow is the 1st of June when the transfer window, the floodgates open up, the first phase of the transfer window. So we're looking to see what will happen, what will transpire. These ones we've mentioned so far, what are your thoughts, your take on that? Let me start with Zeke. What's your thoughts? Liam Delap, is he the right man that Chelsea need right now? And then, of course, that number 9 curse, quote unquote. Is it something that will be broken this time around?
I think that's a very, very nice forward-thinking move for both sides, both Chelsea and Delap. I think Delap, I was actually advocating for, I think the Gunners to have gone for him during the January signing, the summer and January window. And unfortunately, they didn't go for him. This is someone that has scored 12 goals in a team that has gone down, unfortunately for them. But I think the move is very, very good for him. I think he can increase and grow with this squad of Chelsea players, and all of them are still young. They can improve with Enzo Maresca. So, fantastic move.
Emeka, I know you have a soft spot for Chelsea, so really this seems like it has some solid vibes. Or would you have preferred Chelsea going for someone of a higher pedigree?
Professional as possible, because I was reading the Fifth Stand, which is Chelsea's official app, where the news was broken about Leon Delap's transfer to Chelsea. In quote by Maresca, this is a step in the right direction for an attacking forward, but it's not the last forward we are signing.
Okay.
So from Chelsea, he's not going to be the only striker they expect to sign this season. They also expect to sign a couple other players, not just for the striking position as well. There's a transfer we forgot to mention. Dean Houston from Bournemouth FC
to Real Madrid.
I believe that's going to be a key signing for Real Madrid this summer. Let's watch and see.
Okay, so I think our time is already up. We're going to end with that. We'll give you more transfer news as the time comes. Well, just first of all, Roland Garros is ongoing, and we're going to have some fixtures. I'll just list out the fixtures that we have there. I think you just go to the fixtures, the Roland Garros fixtures that we have there, day 7 schedule. The major focus is going to be Misolic against Djokovic, Novak Djokovic. But you're looking there, Jessica Pegula is going to play. That's today. And then Alexander Zverev will play Koboli. Boskova will play Coco Gauff. Have your eyes on Coco Gauff, the heir to the Williams sisters. But the other games, the schedule, just scroll there, you see the schedule. This is the schedule for the French Open for today. We have people like Yannick Sinner that will be playing by 12:30 p.m. today. Zverev, like I said, will be playing by 1:30. Then we're going to have people like Fonseca and Draper. They'll be locking horns by 2:30 p.m. Rublev, that game is a walkover. Basically, so Rublev has done that Guillermo Fils. Fils is the person that was walked over. Norrie and Friendly will be playing there by 4 p.m. And the last game, which is one of the biggest games in terms of the major person that's there, is Misolic and Djokovic. That will be by 8:15 p.m. So the Roland Garros is how we're going to end the show this week and also this month. Thank you for being with us on Afia Sports Show, the Afia Home of Sports. And thank you for being wonderful people who've been tuning in the whole month of May. We're going to do this again in the month of June. So much to talk about in the world of sports. And definitely, we will be some will be licking their wounds. Some will be shouting with triumph after what happens tonight by 8 p.m., the UEFA Champions League. But let's stick around. Don't touch that. Have a blessed remaining few hours in the month of May. And you're going to have a blessed June indeed. I remain Sisi the Rabbi.
And I'm Emeka Madoke, your face of football. Don't forget that.
Have a wonderful weekend.